We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom. My name is Armin Navabi.
And I'm Ali Samani. We are your Iran experts. And today we'll be talking about the two-front uprising, the two-prong attack that the Islamic Republic is about to be under. We can even call it three. One, they're going to face an internal uprising, not just from the Iranian people who are opposed to the regime. They're also going to face one from their own supporters. That dwindling 5 to 3% of the support that they do have is now breaking apart faster than ever. Along with the US and Israel, potentially even a lot more other countries joining in on this attack that is set to take place, in my opinion, probably the month of September, but it could be any second now. We'll talk about that. We'll show you more alligrams about what the IRGC supporters are thinking, along with some of the statements that the Islamic Republic officials have made today that will prove to you. We also have a psychological profile on the right-hand man of the supreme leader and how paranoid he is. As we just went live right now, we do have information, preliminary reports, that there are ballistic missiles launched from Iran towards an unknown destination. These could be tests. They could be going towards the Strait of Hormuz. They could be going to Iraq to strike the Kurdish separatists. And we'll keep an eye on that. It was just minutes ago. And let's get started. So, Armin, why don't we start with the psychological profile of the right-hand man of the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. This man here, he visited the religious capital of the Islamic Republic. You can see him, one's decaying more than the other one. Apparently, the guy on the right, Hossein Taeb, he is the new head of the Basij unit. The Basij are responsible for the murder of the Iranian people on January 8th and 9th, slaughtering over 50,000 of the Iranian people in merely 10 hours. Hossein Taeb, he has a poor track record. He was the intelligence head for the Islamic Republic for 14 years, and under him, they assassinated the top nuclear scientists. They assassinated the top generals of the Islamic Republic. Many mishaps happened. He doesn't have his position out of merit. He has his position because he's intensely loyal to the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. Well, it looks like several people from the Islamic Republic have stepped forward and reported that Hossein Taeb, the man on the right, he's very mentally ill. I know. He suffers from a dangerous condition called paranoia. He's paranoid towards young, old. He suffers from persecution complex, and he constantly tries to pit everyone against each other. People believe this is because of his tenure in the IRGC intelligence organization, became so caught up in all the corruption and fabricating cases against insiders and pointing fingers that he is completely lost it. He's off the rails. And Armin, how much of that would make sense to you personally?
Well, I mean, he has been in charge of removing all the threats to the Mojtaba Khamenei and Khamenei family from the regime, from inside the regime. Guys, so when I say threats, you might think like our people. No, not our people. Their people. Like, this guy has been looking for years. His job was to find and eliminate people from the regime that might be a threat, that might even be pro-regime, extremely pro-regime, but a threat to Mojtaba Khamenei. So I would think that many years of dealing with that, plus Islam, will cause you to be, I don't know, might make you go insane, even more than average. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if that's the case, if this guy is losing it even by their standard, this is good for us, because Mohsen Rezai, who are the people who are being put in charge? Mohsen Rezai, and now another person that is like losing his mind. Mohsen Rezai has lost his mind for a long time, and now, like, these are, a lot of you guys are gonna say like, oh my god, they're all stupid. they're all crazy anyways. What's the difference? There is a difference, right? Under Ali Khamenei, these people might have been Islamically crazy, but they were strategic. If the reports are correct that these people are not even strategic anymore, and they're dealing with a lot of issues, that might bring the fall of the Islamic Republic even closer.
You guys don't grasp just how insane this is. For decades, you had actual evil but competent people at the heads of the Islamic Republic. The head of the Supreme National Security Council is someone who ordered a hit on his own son, who proposed capturing 1,000 American soldiers and charging $1 billion each to get rid of the economic problems in Iran, who proposed capturing people like me, Iranian Americans, who would travel to Iran and then charge a bounty. This is his method. This is what economics is to the current head of, he's the guy who decides, do we go to war or do we not? What do we do? And then he feeds this information to the supreme leader. Only the supreme leader can override him. Technically, he's insane. He's stupid. He's not really competent. He's a puppet, though. Stupid equals good puppets. But it speaks volumes as to how desperate the Islamic Republic is. You guys might look at the Islamic Republic sometimes and say, oh, it's a huge monolith. It's a, they're all together. They're all the same thing. In terms of power struggle, they're not. In terms of killing the Iranian people, they are. So when this power struggle happened a few months ago, and we've been following it every single day, it's led to the result of we don't need, or we can't afford to have competent people in leadership positions. We just need loyal people. Hossein Taeb, Mohsen Rezai. These two people run the show at the moment, along with the Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, who we haven't seen. Let's just say he's alive just in case, because we don't lose anything from that. But these two people have mental illnesses so severe that people around them have cast them out for decades. They're back in power. This is it. People like Ghalibaf have been put on the sideline, not because he was ordered aside, but because, by comparison, he does not have as much power. And he is doing his best to claw back to power. Let's take a look at what Mr. Ghalibaf is up to. Well, Mr. Ghalibaf, what have you been saying? What have you been up to? So, play this video muted for just a second while I tell you what he's saying. He came out. He's a little tired. He said, oh man, I was so close to, he's thinking, I was so close to being the #1 of the Islamic Republic, and I'm competent and I'm smart. I'm going to have to back off for now because those idiots in charge, I know they're going to mess up and fail. So here's what I'm going to say. Came out, made a speech. He said, I believe with all my heart, we won this war with America. We beat them militarily. We beat them politically. But doesn't mean that we destroyed the U.S. military. I just mean that, the U.S. and Israel had their objectives. They attacked us. They failed to get any of those objectives. And this is the biggest defeat for America and Israel ever. And then even diplomatically, we beat them. And I was the head of the diplomatic efforts. And look at me, guys. I did all of that. So that's a source of pride and victory on the diplomatic battlefield that I accomplished personally. And he's trying to remind people of just how important he was. Although this looks, it's kind of like a banquet or something like that. I mean, I don't even know what this is. Do you want to hear what he has to say, Armin, or was that good enough for the paraphrasing? All right, let's hear it.
No, paraphrase. Okay.
من میخوام بگم امروز ما در یک جنگ ناجوان مردانه‌ای که در رأسش آمریکا و رژیم صهیونیستی هستند، ملت ما شجاعانه، مردانه، خالصانه ایستاد، جنگید و من به عنوان یک خدمتگزار، به عنوان یک برادری که به جزئیات کار آشنا هستم، با همه وجودم میگم ما در این جنگ در بعد نظامی و در بعد سیاسیش به معنای واقعی خودش پیروز شدیم.
Armin, did they, in every sense of the word, as he's saying, win politically and militarily against the United States of America?
Unbelievable. This is good for us. You know why this is good for us that he's saying that?
Why?
Because the jihadis hate him so much that now that he's saying we won, they might come out and say we lost. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Because everything he says, they despise him so much that might get more of the jihadis to be like, nope, we lost. Accept defeat.
Guys, listen, did you hear a single Allahu Akbar? No. No. We all know what it means when people say Allahu Akbar to these things. Well, we beat the Americans, and then they always go, Allahu Akbar. No one said anything. Everyone's like,
well, I mean, to be fair, he deals with a more sophisticated crowd sometimes.
Of course.
Yes.
He's above the riffraff there, of course.
Look at this. They're not sitting on the ground. They have tables. This is not,
oh my God.
This is not your average audience. Yes. These are more elite.
Okay, so here's another thing that I thought. When he comes out and says this, he is trying to align with the supreme leader more, but also be a bit separate. So he's like, let me take a different position from the negotiation. Just be like, oh yeah, we did it. We beat the Americans, etc., etc. But I was the one who diplomatically did all this and that. At the same time, all the people in the regime, Armin, who don't think they're winning are going to come out and attack him even more, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. And like, Ghalibov should just shut up right now. Like, I don't understand. He's usually more strategic. It's not a good time for you to speak. Just shh. No. Every time you open your mouth, it keeps backfiring on you.
We had Islamic Republic state media bring on an IRGC commander. And this IRGC commander says that we are probably going to attack Israel soon. Probably. We can't just sit back and let Israel do what they're doing. We're going to have to attack them. This prompted Channel 14 of Israeli news to suddenly push out alerts that the Islamic Republic is about to attack, which is, I mean, I can never say never to that, but I don't think that's happening right now, just because this one guy was saying that. But it is a slight shift. For a couple of months there, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't say anything about Lebanon. In the beginning, they were like, Lebanon, we are the IRGC, and if you attack Lebanon, we're going to attack Israel. That never happened. It never happened. But also, to be fair, the airstrikes and the attacks that the Israeli IDF was conducting on Hezbollah were at a minimal level until about 48 hours ago, where they launched 2 massive operations night after night to capture Ali Taher Ridge. That's the ridge. It's like a mountain that overlooks the capital of Hezbollah, and it overlooks most of southern Lebanon. So it's the most important strategic hill or mountain you have to take in southern Lebanon. And while it was a little unsuccessful, it's prompting the IRGC to come back out and say, we are going to go to war with Israel if they push this. And this is just them. This is them pushing this, them saying this on their own. Here we go. So some slight changes here that we're keeping track of, but the biggest pieces of change that are coming out are a couple of economic things and a couple new laws. So the gas stations in Tehran today closed. They don't have fuel.
Chief. How do people live?
The people suffer every single day for this. And this is a big indicator that if the capital, so if you guys look at these neighborhoods like Neovaron, Tajrish, these are not poor neighborhoods. These are more affluent neighborhoods. You got a couple middle class in there. You got a couple higher upper class in there. And these are the locations where the gas stations are closing. These are neighborhoods, by the way. All the gas stations in these neighborhoods, in these districts, are closing. These are like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people suddenly running out of gas and having to drive across the city to possibly find it. This is important. We showed you guys yesterday, the couple days before, there's long lines of gasoline in Iran from the north to the south. It's not just a specific part of the country. The entire country has shortages of gasoline. Armin, what happens when, let me give you two scenarios, two conditions here. And can you tell us what would happen? The price of gasoline in Iran, an equivalent to the United States, is like 11 cents. Am I right? They're proposing to up that to like 60 cents. So 5 times more. What happens when the economy is used to 11 cents, but now, boom, the price of gas, which, you know, trucks, businesses, all these things we're relying on, suddenly goes up 5 times.
Everything breaks because things stop being profitable. People are like, oh my God, 11 cents per gallon, that's pretty cheap. Businesses have very limited profit based on that price. With that increasing to 60 to 70 cents per gallon, that means no more profit. That means so many businesses and including people who are doing their own small businesses, they have to shut down because now they're going to be in the red. Even the last remaining businesses that were in the red now going to be in the red because now the cost is going to increase. That's heavily subsidized fuel price that was used by the government as a way to steal Iranian people's money away from them and then make them dependent on the regime through subsidies, has turned into a requirement for so many businesses to be able to continue operate and for people to be able to afford living. So you might think 11 cents per gallon is too small, but for a family, 11 cents per gallon is what you need for you to be able to have some money to put some food in the fridge. Now, if it goes from 11 cents to 60 cents, that means that the last remaining money that you had to feed your children is not there anymore. That means that if you had a shop, if you had a business, if you had some remaining profit left in your business, now that part of that profit is going to go poof. That means that you have to shut down your business.
And so that brings us into our first pincer attack, the one from the uprising from within. The price of gasoline doesn't differentiate between whether you support the Islamic Republic or not. It doesn't care. You still pay the same price. You might have some more money if you're part of the Islamic Republic because you've been benefiting off of that system for so long, but they're outraged. The regime supporters are so incredibly angry about this hike in prices. They didn't say too much about food inflation being 300%. They didn't say too much about the shortage of medical supplies or anything like that. They're crying out about gasoline. Why is gasoline the important thing as opposed to everything else?
Like what else?
Like they didn't care about the medical supplies, the food, all of that. Is it because their own businesses are being hurt by this, or what could it be?
Well, because gasoline is the price, will be reflected in everything. Fuel prices, like everything around you, has fuel prices embedded within it, right? Like the milk that you drink needs some of the money that you pay for milk is for the fuel that you need to for the cow to farm the food for the cow, to move the food for the cow, to move the meat, to move the milk of the cow to the factory, to all the stuff that runs the factory to produce the milk, to package the milk, to bring the milk to the store, to run the electricity in the store, to run the electricity in the factory. So when you're drinking a cup of milk, a lot of that money that you're paying for is fuel prices. So fuel prices is in everything. When you're paying your doctor, you're paying for fuel. Even if you're not using your phone, when you're paying for your milk, you're paying for fuel. When you're paying for your book, you're paying for fuel. Everything. So fuel is in everything. So when fuel prices go up, everything goes up. It's embedded in everything that you pay for. So it's connected to it.
So at this point, let's give you guys some key indicators. The inflation month to month is about 90. The inflation, this year has been 90%. You had 100 grand sitting in the bank. Congrats, you now have 10,000. Didn't spend it, by the way. Just since January. That's what happened. In addition to that, the average wage in Iran is about $80 a month. The prices of food are hiked up. The prices of your bills have hiked up about 5 to 10 times. Let's just go say you did go and buy food for your family and you brought it home. Oh no, the electricity is out. There's an electricity outage. It just lasted 16, 20 hours. Dang, the food that you bought is spoiled, right? It's kind of summertime. Some areas of the country in 40 degrees Celsius, 120 degree Fahrenheit heat. All of a sudden, your family doesn't have food anymore. You're going to have to sell your belongings, take out loans to afford basic needs. So in that sense, the majority of the population who is already not doing well for a long time is waiting right now for a chance for something, a spark to happen, and they will come back out. All the talk that you guys heard, perhaps through propaganda or other means of the Iranian people are never going to come back out again. That was it. January was it. And it failed and it's over. I kept telling you guys, they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. In fact, look at the reason as to why they come out in the first place. They want a better life. They want a normal life. If you don't get a normal life and you keep getting suppressed, you're going to keep coming back out, not because you just want to, it's because you have to. If you don't have any food on the table. You don't have anything. That's the Iranian people's side. The regime supporters have a different reason to come out. They're not as pressed in the economic front, although they are. They are concerned about, Armin, this isn't the Islamic Republic that I know and love. Who's even, who's who anymore? What's what? This isn't what I endured sanctions for. This isn't what I, served in the military for. That's what they're thinking, right?
Yeah, I mean both. They're also, unlike what they pretended, they also care about the cost of living. They pretended like they don't care, but now that it's getting really bad, they're starting to cry as well. And yeah, on top of that, they're noticing that this is not the Islamic regime that was promised to them because of the that their Islamic regime that they did a revolution for 48 years ago. Like, women are walking around without hijab. Hijab laws are not being enforced. We didn't destroy Israel. We didn't kill Trump for killing Ali Khamenei. And executions are like 4, 5, 10, 12. It's nothing like the thousands that we asked for. So we can't even say death to America anymore, apparently. We're not even allowed to say death to America. So they can say you can say death to America in America, but apparently in some areas in Iran, you can't even say that anymore.
That is the reason why a uprising is imminent. Sorry about that. Let me put this back, and here we go. That is the reason why the people will come out at any moment. Things are going back towards that route. So for a while, you guys may have noticed, if you've been following along, that the momentum decreased. That is true. And that was natural. The momentum right now, from someone sitting here in my room, not living in Iran, I can feel that the momentum is rising once again. Do you feel like the momentum's rising again?
I mean, it's rising, but I don't know when it will happen. And I think it's unpredictable when it will happen.
Of course.
And also, some people are arguing that for our side to do an uprising, it shouldn't happen before we're armed, given what last time happened. I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you what some people are saying, that the next uprising should happen to that scale only after we get armed. It doesn't make sense to go back, fight the regime, and just get slaughtered like that again. We already demonstrated that we are willing to pay the ultimate price. Doing that again doesn't prove anything if we're going to get slaughtered like that again. Given that we already shown what we're capable of, we have to, some people are saying we have to wait for us to get armed before we try that again. And, one thing that I'm hoping for is that we could at least get these Dorka jihadis to do an uprising against the regime before then.
Yeah. And so that brings us into our reason for why the United States and Israel will be conducting major combat operations. This will happen. We have a couple points to bring up. Watched a lot of United States military analysts last night before I headed out to spend some time with my fellow humans my age. They say that it's too hot right now, for example. It's 40 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll get into that in just a second. But this plane that you see right here, there were a ton of airlifts today. I think there was like 10 or 15 different KC-46, the 135s that took off today from CENTCOM to America. They all left the region, and this is causing a lot of people within the American military sphere to come out and say, that's it. Trump tacoed, he chickened out. We're leaving. We're pulling out things of the Middle East. And the other half are saying, you guys are idiots. These are empty. They're heading to America to pick up more supplies. These were the same planes that came from the United States over Europe and into the Middle East. They emptied everything they needed. They made some flights back to Europe, back and forth. Now they're heading back to the US. It's called rotation. It's normal. If you guys hear about the United States pulling out, this is what they're talking about. And it is not true. And here is our next reason before we get into the ground level about the troops. I'll give you all the information that I've gathered. This is an F-22. 4 different squadrons of F-22s were added in the last few weeks. We covered all of that. We now have over 100 refueling tankers in the region. Most of them that I could track are in Saudi Arabia and Israel and Jordan. These F-22s serve a specific purpose. That is to go after anti-aircraft defense. You have man pads, no problem. Take them out. You got some, surface-to-air missiles. Take them out with the F-22s. They're stealthy enough. They're fast enough. This is what they specialize in. The American forces bringing in multiple squadrons of these doesn't mean that the Americans are arrogant and they think we had aerial supremacy, we can just achieve it again. That's not how our military works. We go for the kill as soon as possible. We destroy everything that could possibly be a threat to our troops, and we do it with overwhelming force. That has been what we say and what we do forever, actually. We don't take equipment out. We only add. So now, when the USS George Washington is set to arrive in actually just a matter of days, we'll show you guys what that looks like as well. Oh, why does it look like so pixely? Let's grab this one instead. All right. So the USS George Washington, that's a big boy. It's coming in to replace the USS Abraham Lincoln. If you want to look at the flight decks, we have the USS George Washington that's going to come in. We have the Bush. Then we have the Boxer. The Boxer is an aircraft carrier, but it's also meant to deploy troops amphibiously. It has a runway on it and everything. You have hundreds. Correct. So you have hundreds and hundreds of fighter jets. you have 2 aircraft carriers, and for a period of time, I don't see the USS Abraham Lincoln leaving at the moment. There might be a short period of time where there's 3 aircraft carriers, Lincoln, Bush, and this Washington that's about to arrive. I'm just saying. Oh, Joshua just said my brother is on the USS George Washington. Hey, tell him we say
Ooh.
thanks. Thanks, Joshua.
Thank you for his
So,
service.
guys,
Thank him
yeah.
on our behalf for his service.
And
Ali,
they're
I don't
joined with
know
their
if the
strikers.
USS Abraham. I don't know if USS Abraham Lincoln people are ready to fight. They need to. Those boys and girls need to go home. They've been stuck there for a while, so I don't think they're ready to get them involved. Like after being there for so long, just starting a fight while they're being involved in it. I don't think they're ready to. I think they need to go home. No, maybe I am.
It could be. A lot of people are arguing that exact thing. The counter argument that I have heard to it is that then why would they wait so long to rotate it? If they conducted the strikes back in February, they ended in March, and that was it, why didn't they just rotate the ships then? Even because the Abraham Lincoln had already been a while for them since they had a port call. Why not just switch them out then? Why were they waiting for this? And of course, that's something that we don't know. I'm not Pete Hegseth. I'm not Brad Cooper. I will never be able to answer that question for you. But hopefully years from now, we'll come back and answer all these. The overwhelming firepower that is in the region at the moment is almost 3 times the amount that we had on February 28th. February 28th, you all remember the videos of the strikes and the bombings that occurred on the Islamic Republic. Well, we have 3 times that amount now. In addition to that, we still have 60,000 personnel in the area of the Middle East. Not all of them are people who will hold weapons and run into a combat zone, but the thousands of Marines currently stationed in the area are. So, the Marines. For the Marines to successfully conduct an operation on the southern coast of Iran, a couple of conditions need to be met. We proved a few weeks ago with the 13 day of strikes that the United States is able to take out logistical hubs. This would be bridges. It would be bunkers. We did use bunker busters on the south of Iran. I think it was like the GBU variant. And then we were also able to close the missile city entrances. We took out all the speedboats. They have no navy. We're capable of it. Then the ports have been slowly suffocating. The IRGC now has to reroute its plans and say, well, if we do want to reinforce our IRGC garrisons in the area, the U.S. will just hit the bridges and the roads. We're going to have to figure out a way around that. It's going to be a bit tough. It's like a checkmate move. And keep in mind, if you're an American soldier, you're an American Marine, you're storming the beaches of the southern coast of Iran. It is August. It is 140 degrees down there. It's going to be quite difficult to maneuver. For your stamina, it's going to be low, etc., etc. Now let's put on the very high possibility, and I'm going to ask you if this is a possibility or not. I believe the Islamic Republic has absolutely no problem with using chemical weapons. For example, they don't care if they use chemical weapons and it hits their own people. It doesn't matter to them. As long as the Marines die, the civilian population is also killed, it doesn't matter. So, if you're a Marine, it's 140 degrees, 120 degrees, you got to put on a gas mask, you got to put on layers of protective equipment to be able to storm these beaches and these mountains and these hills. You are going to die from being overheated, from heat exhaustion, rather than the IRGC. You're going to have to wait a little bit if you want to conduct some land operations, in my opinion. I don't want to see any Americans being casualties because of the environment. September, tail end of September, things die down in terms of temperature. Still have some time to go until the midterms, about a month and a half. I would put it more high likely for that to happen at that time. Again, guys, that's just a theory of mine. Could be completely false. But that is the general American forces strategy that we have here. Let's see what we have for you guys now. Yes. The head of the military of Iran, of the IRGC, the Islamic Republic, commander-in-chief of the Artesh. They said, you guys know how the Treasury said, we'll give you $15 million if you give us information on IRGC officials? The United States Treasury said that. Well, looks like the Islamic Republic is like, oh yeah? Well, we'll give you $30,000 for information that captures or kills an American. Wow. I took a look.
And this is the head of the Artesh, not IRGC, the one that was supposed to be less ideological, right?
Correct. I took a look at what people in Iran thought about this. This is only making it worse for themselves, for the Islamic Republic. It's pissing people off, saying, you don't have the money to do anything. Our inflation, our gas prices, you're going to give $30,000 to kill an American that you've, for 47 years, been screaming that you will do. Let me remind you guys. Armin, how many years is it that we've heard military commanders of the IRGC say, we have pinpoint ballistic missiles. We're going to sink the American carriers on the first day of the war. We're going to invade Kuwait and in all these different countries and capture Americans by the thousands. We're going to sink, we're going to shoot down all their planes. We're going to march on Israel. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they have the capability to do this, but again, don't ever underestimate what their bounties are.
Given that they're now asking civilians to do it for them, isn't that embarrassing? So isn't that your job? Like, if you kill them, they're telling civilians if they kill Americans, they get a $30,000 reward for killing Americans. So to me, a lot of people are like, okay, so are you running out of manpower? Like, why are you asking us? Aren't you the one with the guns? Also, Ali, he also said that the reward is double for women. I can read you the quote.
Wait, what?
So here are the two quotes. Anyone who kills or captures and hands over an invading American military personnel will receive a reward equivalent to $30,000 or 50 billion 2 months, basically, from the Islamic Republic of Iran's army. He also said courageous Iranian women who carry out such an action will receive double the reward.
That's even worse for them, I feel like. So they're going to hide behind, they're going to incentivize women to put themselves in.
This is virtue signaling that we're like pro-woman.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to parade that woman around on media and be like, look at us, so tolerant, and even the women are fierce. But then they're also encouraging women to put themselves in danger.
That's good. Where would they do that? Like the Americans, which Americans? Because the quote is invading American military personnel. Like when they come into Iran, is he talking about the ground operation in response to that? Or is he asking them to take a boat and go to like USS Abraham Lincoln with a boat or something? I don't know.
Some people probably will do that, for $30,000. I wouldn't be too surprised. So that was their capabilities, largely. They did release a video today, the IRGC. They released this video of them launching multiple ballistic missiles at the same time, It kind of backfired, and I'll show you why. The video itself actually does. This is probably their best video ever, by the way. They released a bunch of BS videos over the last year of their military exploits. They all looked like garbage. This is probably the best one. It's you know, it's not going to throw you off your seats or anything, but look at it. He's counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when it pans over, you can actually see all the other missiles launching at the same time as well. And this was an operation, I believe they took this video launching towards Israel a few months ago.
So the video is released now, but
yeah,
the video is from a few months ago. Wait, really? They have a button in the corner? They press the button in the corner for make this all happen? Like, that's weird. Okay. Is that the green device?
Yeah, exactly. So this is why it backfired, is because this image in the beginning of the video has now been declassified by multiple open source intelligence analysts. And now we know exactly how their ballistic missiles are launched. There are like 6 buttons here. One of them is for launch, which is on the one on the left. There's others for like programming and this and that. Yeah, it was something, I guess. But it's just more information that we're getting.
What? Yeah, why would you release that? You know, guys, Israelis managed to infiltrate into one of the most secure parts areas of enrichment of uranium by the Islamic Republic inside Iran, just because they released a video showing the back of a computer. The back of the computer made Israelis manage to figure out so much about what they needed to do. So the fact that, why would you release that? Do you understand how much information you have just given to the Israelis by doing that? Like, those people, if I was the Islamic Republic, I wouldn't be surprised if I wanted to execute these people for releasing that video.
Yeah, so then here it is. People dug up older videos from the Islamic Republic, and now they know the exact model, make, how they're launched, what the controls are, and what the size of these devices are. So that's more information for the Israelis to go after here. But hey, the launch itself looked pretty good. I mean, let's go back. Didn't look bad. So probably around here. So you can see it's a truck mounted. So you can just move them pretty fast with trucks. They're able to do this as fast as about 15 minutes to come out of the tunnels, launch, and then get back in. And that is their largest success. Here's the thing. Every missile that they launch, they treat it as a victory. They think differently than most other militaries.
Right.
Every missile launched is a victory for them, no matter what. If it gets intercepted, if it doesn't, it's still a victory in the Islamic Republic's eyes. It creates danger, uneasiness, hesitation, and it costs the United States and Israel interceptor missiles and money to target these. It's always a win-win for them. You know why? You know why it's a win-win? Because they don't care if their own people are killed. It doesn't matter to them if the population of Iran is destroyed. Countries like United States and Israel not only care if their own population is hurt, but other countries' populations are hurt as well. All right. So with that, now we can get into a bit of a new piece of information that just got revealed by Axios. So some of you may know this man. He is the president of Kurdistan, which is not really an official country. But anyway, this man was contacted by the Trump administration, by Tulsi Gabbard, who no longer works there at the Trump administration, contacted by Tulsi Gabbard and sent to the Islamic Republic during Khamenei's funeral, which the United States and Israel killed. And during the funeral, the president of Kurdistan went up to the commander-in-chief of the IRGC, Ahmad Vahidi, and said, listen, man, let's make a deal. The United States and you, the commander of the IRGC, let's make a deal. Vahidi pretty much shoved his middle finger up this guy's something, and he returned back to Tulsi Gabbard, who apparently did so without the approval of Mr. Marco Rubio, and was consequently fired not long afterwards. That is the scoop given to us by Axios. The scoop. So this was interesting. Nejat Bahrami, the thing that he pointed out about this was that the Trump administration bypassed the Islamic Republic officials and went straight to the IRGC commander-in-chief and wanted to make a deal with him. At the same time, they were trying to make separate deals with the negotiation teams of the Islamic Republic. Isn't that interesting?
Was this with Trump's approval or without Trump's approval? Tulsi Gabbard.
I think they're saying it was with Trump's approval, but not with Marco Rubio's approval. Like Marco didn't even know about it.
So what I heard is that they, at some point, they were getting so frustrated with Ghalibaf not giving them the things that they wanted. So they wanted to go talk directly to Vahidi, because they heard Vahidi is actually in favor of the negotiations. But then when they tried to talk to him through this guy, Vahidi was like, no, don't talk to me, talk to the negotiating team.
Yeah. Interesting that they, it makes sense to reach out to everyone within the Islamic Republic. They are fragmented. They tried, but if they just, hey, I'm just saying, if the U.S. administration watched us for 2 minutes, they would have found out that would never, ever have worked. Ever. Let's go into what Donald Trump has said today. He mentioned, okay, I can't find the pen. Let's just go all the way over to Washington. He said something about North Korea today. I don't know, guys. It makes sense to me. And of course, guys, just view this with the lens of he's trolling. He said, based on my very good, the first line, I kid you not, is based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Okay, so that's how we're starting this off one. All right. I'm not happy with the fact that the U.S. is participating in military exercises with South Korea. The exercises are costly, and we pay most of the price. The U.S. pays it. And that also, at the same time, sends a signal that's totally inappropriate and hostile to North Korea. As long as I've been the president, we have been unthreatening and respectful to North Korea. So based on that, because it's expensive and it's disrespectful to North Korea, I am going to reduce our joint military exercises with South Korea. And then he says, he's also trolling, he says, while somewhat unrelated, and in question marks and parentheses, I asked the president of South Korea if they want to join us in the war with Iran. And the president of the South Korean Republic said, no thanks. So he's saying, because South Korea said they're not going to join in on the war, and because I like Kim Jong-un, I'm going to reduce our military presence in South Korea.
Completely unrelated, by the way. Completely unrelated. Ignore the question mark. Do not, that the question mark was a typo. Go lower. It's not cryptic at all, guys. This is pretty straightforward. You don't have to, well, somewhat unrelated, question mark. I mean, you guys were not there for us, so I guess We're not going to be there for you
Yeah,
guys.
so I
Why
get it.
should we?
But damn. Anyway, these are the type of things that make people really confused about Donald Trump.
People who say that you guys take President Trump seriously, but not literally, because he always means something else. I mean, he puts the question mark right there. You don't need to read in between the lines. Like, it doesn't make it. He makes it pretty obvious.
Yep.
This is not a
Here's
joke.
another.
This is a genuine. This is not a joke. This is serious, and
Yep.
it makes sense to me. Like, why you leech off of our military? The whole point of us securing you is that we should, like, because we treat you like an ally. So you're not there for us. Why should we be there for you? Like, there should be consequences. By the way, love you, South Koreans. I'm not talking about you.
Yep. Guys, how many of you work out with a company or with an app called Strava, out of curiosity? Because apparently members of the United States military love it. There's an app called Strava, and it tracks your workouts. So if you want to run, whatever you want to do, it'll track it. Take a look. This is the Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan. And the United States military service members have been using the Strava app to track their workouts. And quite conveniently, even though satellites will actually block you, a lot of them will block you from being able to see the base, unless you're China. The Islamic Republic has been grabbing data from US service members, and so has Russia and China, because they will just map out every inch of the base for you themselves. Not only in Jordan, but also Bahrain and Kuwait. Looks like it's a pretty popular app within the US military. Maybe there's some sort of discount or, perk that they can just get it for free. I'm not really sure. Every time they run, that data gets sent from their phone to the satellite, and the Chinese and the Russians and the IRGC have been feeding off on that data. Some people are pointing out, is this why the IRGC were able to hit the barracks of this base with pinpoint accuracy? We're not sure. But I think the US military is on it at this point, so we're not going to see too much more of that happening from now on. And Jared Kushner, of all people, has suddenly made a visit to Israel. He touched down in Israel last night. He's meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu today. The date of the comments, it's almost 2 a.m. in the Middle East at this point. So he's going to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu today, and what they're going to talk about is undoubtedly some things about Iran. But the official reason for the visit is the Gaza de-weaponization, giving up their weapons, Hamas giving up their weapons. That's basically the topic here. Hamas was instructed by the IRGC to not give up their weapons, to just simply stay, we'll store our weapons somewhere. Trump has instructed Kushner to go and tell them, we ain't gonna accept that one. We ain't taking that deal, because you guys are just gonna store the weapons somewhere. You're gonna go grab it in the future. You're gonna be a problem forever. You're gonna have to give up those weapons to Israel completely. We sort of have the same situation in Iraq. These are two proxies by the IRGC that are refusing to disarm, Hamas and the PMF. In addition, we also have the Yemeni Houthis, who actually just took a pounding like few others can. The Yemeni armed forces, this is the official government, just announced today that they eliminated 200 Houthis in 24 hours with multiple different operations. So you can see here that the armed forces of the Yemeni Houthis actually got some really big upgraded tech. I can't show you a lot of the other videos, and we'll just pause it right there. they bought drones from Ukraine. These are Ukrainian drones.
Wow.
As I told you before, Ukraine does have surpluses of drones. They actually produce many more drones that they use, and they sell them to other countries to fund their war efforts. They're selling some to Saudi Arabia, which is then giving it to the Yemeni armed forces to use on the Houthis. That still hasn't stopped them from being hit, because once again, today in Jazan, the Saudi government issued this statement to all residents of the city, telling them, please don't panic. These are alerts that indicate incoming ballistic missiles and drones. Please take shelter, etc., etc. Jazan was hit once again today, one of the biggest oil refineries for the Saudi Arabians that happens to sit a bit too close to Yemen. So at this point, Yemen's in a full-blown civil war again, and the Houthis actually got a pretty big defeat at the hands of these Ukrainian drones operated by some Ukrainian operators, I'm sure, and then also the Yemeni armed forces themselves. And the reason I'm saying that is that even if Ukraine sold them these drones, they also must have sent some people who knew how to use them best. And right afterwards, boom, huge success. 200 Houthis eliminated in one day, over 181 operations launched to eliminate those 200. But what happened? What happened in Russia and Ukraine last night and this week? The Ukrainians are launching bigger and bigger attacks week by week. They're becoming more intense. Last night, the Ukrainian armed forces launched over 1,000 drones to Moscow alone, not including all the other drones that they sent to the Black Sea ports, the other southern parts of Russia. Moscow alone was subject to 1,000 drones. How do you guys think, or what do you guys think Moscow looks like at the moment? Let's take a look. We currently are taking a look at one of the biggest wild berries warehouses in Moscow. Wild berries is the Amazon equivalent of Russia. And currently, out of their 35 warehouses, they have, I think, about 9 left. The company's destroyed at this point. Imagine if Amazon suddenly had 20% of its capabilities to give you your package. The company's going to fail immediately. That is what the Russian economy is facing, along with the fact that they can't sell their oil, or they're struggling to, and they're actually importing gasoline from India at this point. Yeah, it's not looking too good for them. Not looking too good at all. So that'll affect the Russians' capabilities here in the Caspian Sea. This sea has been useful. Slavo-Ukrainian. It's been really useful for the Russians. They're making some good money selling weapons to the IRGC. They're even using this land bridge through Georgia and Armenia to deliver trucks. The Ukrainians have struck both trucks and ships. For the past couple of weeks, they haven't been active, but that threat is there. We told you guys yesterday, Ukraine doesn't really have too much of a problem entering this war. The IRGC can't reach them. And also, because if they do, remember, guys, the Earth curves, and if they do, they have to fire missiles through Turkey to reach Ukraine. Turkey is going to shoot them down 100%. The Ukrainians have excess drones. They got no problem entering this front from cutting money going to Russia even further. And the IRGC are going to not poke that bear. What they're instead going to do is continue attacks on U.S. Army bases like they did 2 days ago in the north of Iraq, targeting specifically Army barracks to kill soldiers. It was evacuated. And then here in Bahrain, what they're going to do again, and what they largely successfully did, was at our 5th Fleet base here. Are those char marks? Okay. This is a logistical hub for CENTCOM. It was put out of commission by the IRGC. They bombarded it so much, and that is why the USS Abraham Lincoln has been short on supplies and forcing it to bring in supplies from Diego Garcia all the way down here. It's not so simple. It's not so straightforward. War has costs. Before we go into alligrams, we have a quick update for you guys in Europe. Do you guys remember this part? Anyone remember what happened here? This is where the invasion of Spain occurred a couple weeks ago. Well, looks like it didn't really end there, did it? This is what it looks like last night. Yes. Again. Thousands more are pouring in. A lot of eyewitnesses on the ground. Correct, again.
Oh my God.
A lot of eyewitnesses are reporting that many of these people are armed with weapons, makeshift weapons, some even with guns, bats, sticks. Peace-loving immigrants who are trying to escape something, I guess, of course. Or so the Democrats say. So that was last night in Spain, and then today in Spain looked like this, with them just simply pouring over the hills into people's homes. Well, we all saw what happened last time. They set fire to businesses. They broke in. They started stealing. Cars were on fire, and it looks like whoever's filming this right now is hopefully safe. I hope they're safe. Looks like they're about to escape. And one more piece of news before we get into alligrams. We have the pilot situation with Qatar. So, for those of you who don't know, 3 pilots of the Islamic Republic military were captured. There were 4 sent to conduct bombings on Al Udeid. That's the U.S. military base in Qatar. Their planes were all shot down. It was obvious that they were going to get shot down. One of them perished. The other 3 ejected and were severely wounded. They were captured by Qatar. The IRGC just found this out 2 days ago. They demanded their pilots back, and Qatar said, "We don't have them. It's not us." People went digging. I went digging. This is an interview with a Qatari colonel. He says, "We interrogated the pilots. We interrogated the Iranian pilots." And at the same time, Qatar yesterday announced that they didn't have the pilots. Ever. They never had the pilots. Cool. I love the internet. Don't you guys? Because there's receipts for everything. There really is. He's like, what did you do? The Iranian pilots, they attacked, we captured them, we interrogated them, we got information out of them. This is from months ago. This interview is from a long time ago.
Wait, so Islamic Republic was telling the truth this time?
Yeah. Give us back our pilots. Qatar's like, we don't have them. And then this is a Qatari colonel being like, yeah, we captured them and interrogated them. Okay. So let me close these out here. All right. Here we go. Guys, we have a section called alligrams. I go and find some messages that are indicative of the regime supporters who are currently in Iran, and then I show these to you guys so that we can see what they're thinking. Here's our first one. We'll translate this one into English for you guys. And it says, "Is it okay for Muslims to be genocided by China?" Referring to the Uyghurs. "Is it okay for Muslims to be killed by each other? Is it okay for Muslims to be killed by their own people? Or is it a crime to for Muslims to be killed only by Israel and America? Be human. Anti-West, anti-US, anti-Israel, and this is true. Muslims don't care when Muslims kill Muslims, or even when China kills Muslims. They care when Israel and the United States kill Muslims. That is our first one by the regime supporters. And our second one is here. It's a little bit drawn out. Let's translate this and see if this is an accurate translation on this extension that I have. Yeah. All right. Perfect. This is a regime supporter that's attacking their own government. And when I say government, they mean like the current 4-year presidency government. These people are ignorant and will die ignorant. They'll be ignorant to the end. They don't understand that poverty in society is worse than war. Poverty causes all kinds of corruption. Let them understand in a few years what's wrong, and then they won't be able to do anything about it at that time. So this regime supporter does believe that they will survive for a few years down the line. No, I don't think so at all. Maximum, you guys have 2 years. But more and more people in the Islamic Republic are waking up to the fact that their own government is incredibly corrupt. They're waking up to the fact that, hey, if prices are suddenly increasing right now, maybe it wasn't just a result of the war with the United States. It might also be because our government sucks. One of the key things that I saw them talking about in their discussions was that we spend all this money for Lebanon proxies and Iraqi proxies and nuclear programs and all this. We actually have nothing to show for it. We lost our nuclear program. That was about $2 trillion. We lost a lot of our proxies. Hezbollah is getting hammered, especially over the last couple of nights where Hezbollah is getting hit. They're talking about it again. And they're being like, wait, if our government spent all this money, maybe it's our government's fault. They're reaching level 1 of consciousness. Level 2 would be them realizing that it's not just their government in the Islamic Republic, it's their ideology.
It's themselves.
We'll see if they get there. Yeah.
No,
yes.
Level 3 would be, this is my fault. I chanted death to America. I chanted death to Israel. I did this to me. That would be level 3.
Yeah. They're still on level 1. But hey, they got to level 1. Oh, man. And then we have another person saying, in response to one of the regime supporters saying, a bit more brainwashed, he said, there's no such thing as selling out one's homeland. Completely retarded take. This person says, I agree. But when you degrade a country that was the first leading economy in the region back in 1978, when you degrade Iran and you compare it to countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh, and the ones who decide the fate of the Iranian people are the leaders of the countries in the region and not the leaders of Iran, then you realize that we have the most traitorous government in Iranian history, a government that only thinks about its own survival at any cost. What they're meaning here is that we are just as poor as Pakistan and Bangladesh at the moment. We had the first leading economy in the Middle East. Now we're like Pakistan, Bangladesh. Other leaders like Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, or Trump will decide the fate of Iran. Even we can't. And this government will survive at any cost. If it gives up parts of Iran, that's okay. If it kills its own people, that's okay. It just needs to stay alive. And our next one here, which says, someone said, the people don't care what American officials say. This person responds to that, saying, I completely agree with you. All of this is propaganda, especially by creating an imaginary enemy and stirring up people's emotions. Ukraine and Russia have been at war for 4 years, but their inflation is 6 to 7%. Our internal problems are plunder. Our system is kleptocracy. What's kleptocracy? Could you explain that to us? What is the Islamic Republic economic system here? Why is it?
Isn't that when the corrupt rule?
Yeah.
When the people that, yeah.
And just hoard all their money, yeah.
Yes.
They're all figuring this out. They're comparing themselves to other countries. They're comparing themselves to Pakistan, Bangladesh, Russia, Ukraine, who have been in active war. 30,000 people die a month. Their inflation is 6-7%. Why is the inflation in Iran 90%? That's why they say it's not because of war, it's because of other problems that we had. War should cost 6-7. 6-7.
Oh my God. Okay. Ali, you too? No. Oh,
They're
no.
saying it.
Ali,
Their inflation is 6 to 7%. I'm not. It's not me.
Ali, why you? You were the chosen one. How could you do this?
So as of the past few days, the regime supporters are pointing fingers at their government more than anything else. As someone who's been reading these for months, it used to be pointing fingers at people like me and Armin, people who live outside of Iran, who want the Iranian people to be free. They're like, you're the problem. Then they pointed at the Iranian people themselves because there's more internal division within Iran. Now they're pointing fingers at their own government, at their own Islamic Republic. That's the stage that we've arrived at. And it was natural. It was going to get to this point. We told you guys it would get to this point. This is, by the way, going to get much, much worse as we head into fall and winter, when economic hardships become multiple times more difficult, when the blockade takes more of effect, when Scott Bessent this week is going to roll out the most amount of economic isolation that has ever been done in history to a certain country. Our next one is the Islamic Republic State Media channel reported that the United States Energy Secretary Chris Wright is reporting that the U.S. has controlled the Strait of Hormuz and that we're exporting 15 million barrels a day out of the region of the Middle East, which is 75% of the pre-war capacity. 20 million before the war, 15 million now. And this regime supporter says, wait, the Americans might be right. It seems they're right. Every night, a lot of ships pass by in the Strait of Hormuz, and we don't hit them like before. Except for 1 out of 100 ships, we hit them. A few nights ago, Farce, which is the Islamic Republic State Media, wrote about a whole bunch of Saudi oil tankers heading towards the Strait of Hormuz. But then after that, there was no news that we hit at least one of them. This is true. These Saudi tankers did enter under the protection of the United States military and were not hit. The UAE ships were hit, about 1 a night. The regime supporters are also aware of this. This was something that they were aware of before. This is something that they're still aware of now. I don't see an increase or a decrease in this. They're the same awareness level of that they don't have control of the Strait of Hormuz. The ships that they are hitting are just not enough to cause oil prices to go up. And then we also have another person talking about this as well. This regime supporter is saying that ship transit statistics, you can see how many ships have been going through the Strait of Hormuz. You can see them anywhere. Just go to the Kepler Institute. You can look them up online. Go search to find out the truth. It's very simple. If ships aren't passing, then why aren't gasoline prices going down? Well, what they're trying to say is that if ships are not passing, then how come gasoline prices aren't going up? If ships are passing, gasoline prices come down. If ships aren't passing, gasoline prices go up. Why is it? Go look for the truth yourself, because the Islamic Republic is not showing that. In fact, they are not. This has been a hot topic among the regime supporters. Why do we have to go to foreign media to find out the truth? Why is our own media not telling us the truth? Yeah, so exactly. Their own leaders are lying to them. They're pretty privy to this fact at the moment. Something that I would like to see increase. And that is our allogram section. It's pretty standard. We've seen these things before. We're also seeing them not slow down at all. Yeah.
I think like these allegrams are so revealing of what the current mood is among, people that might be closer to the regime. It's really good. Like I think you have found one of the most effective ways of figuring out what's going on.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it.
Literally nobody else does this, not on the Persian side or English side. Like this deep dive that you do.
Yeah, and I get it, right? Because they'll be like, oh, it's anecdotal. And that's right. But I do take a look at hundreds, if not thousands of messages, and then I grab the ones that are the most indicative. I say this, indicative of their mood. If I just see one person saying this one-off thing, I'll be like, okay, well, that's just one person. If I show them that, it's not going to, whatever, right? But if I see 10, 20, 30 people over the course of a couple of days saying this, I'll be like, okay, that's at least something that if 30 people had the time to come and write this point, other regime supporters are also thinking it.
Well, yeah, I know it's pretty, reflective of the mood there, because for the Persian channel, I cover what social media, videos, and state media and regime supporters accounts are saying. So that's what I do for the Persian side, and the things that you cover on Telegram is based on what I'm saying, a good reflection on that as well. So the fact that they match shows that you're doing a good job at figuring out which comments to highlight.
Sweet. I didn't know that. That's good. Yeah, and I sent you the ones from yesterday.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
it's good that I have them in case I keep them in my back pocket in case somebody on the Persian channel says like nobody says that. I'm like, I'll pull them over.
Yeah.
I give you credit, by the way, when I show them.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to do that. I just want them to know that is happening.
Can I show you a video?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, so guys, I don't know which Shia shrine this belongs to. It's one of them. Which Shia shrines this is. I'll play it without explanation, and you guys could tell me what you think is happening. Okay? This is a shrine inside. Well, actually, I don't know if it's in Iran or Iraq, but let's play it. It's a Shia shrine. بيدي جبت مهرة ولا هم بالولوف كفيل شوف بيدي جبت مهرة ولا هم بالولوف. So for some reason, okay, so they realize that this part of the ball, the pattern there kind of looks like Imam Hussein, the third Imam of Shia Muslims. So they're treating it like a miracle, and they're kind of kissing it. Let me. Well, we don't have to listen to it. So they're just thinking like, oh, this is a miracle. This is Hussein, and they're just kissing
germs.
It.
But also, this person's nails are painted, and that's a man. Because that's a male area. That's a male area. That's the guy's nails are painted.
I don't think it's painted. I just think he needs to see a doctor or something. But I don't know. Does this look like Hussein? I don't know.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen.
It also looks like somebody giving you the middle finger. It could be that. It could. I don't know. It also looks like something else that I'm not going to say, but it could be many
Yeah,
things.
anyway. These people, these people. What are you supposed to do with them, really? Guys, what are you supposed to do?
So I'll show you a picture of Hussein, the holiest man in Shia Islam, more important than Allah and Muhammad himself. Okay, so this is how they usually depict him. Oh no, that's Ali. What the hell? I searched for Hussein.
Was he a drag queen?
I mean, they kind of they always, you know what, Ali, they they always paint them like that for some reason.
So weird.
No, yeah, they look at this. They always paint them. This is Hussein. They always paint them like as if they're like, I don't know. It's very.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, no, yeah.
No, okay. Like I kid you not, guys. Like, okay, let me show you. Okay, if you just search for Imam Hussein on Google Images, right? Look at this. Okay, so if you don't see the face, then it doesn't look like a drag queen, right? Or whatever. But if you do, like, the eyebrows are always kind of look like here, like if you keep scrolling down. There's like this, okay. Or maybe they don't show the face sometimes.
So
this
weird.
guy. Oh, look at this one. Yeah, look at this one. Look.
And they got the eyelashes
like
and everything.
They have makeup on. Yeah, it always looks like they have makeup on.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird, man. What do you do with these people? I think you just slowly de-indoctrinate them over time or something like that. It's probably the best.
Don't ask
method.
that question, because the answers we're going to get in the chat is probably I have to turn off the chat so we don't get it. When you say, what do we do with these people? I mean, the answers we're going to get. Guys, please do not give your answers. We're trying to make sure that we don't get nuked off of YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, instead, look at this. This is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia just instructed in Saudi Arabian schools to remove the phrase, "The Muslims will never give up Jerusalem." Interesting, right? So they're having that removed, and they're going to remove it from any textbook taught in school from 2023 onward. Interesting.
Wait, where is this?
This is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So they're saying that a grade 11 Arabic language exercise no longer features the sentence, "The Muslims will never give up on Jerusalem." And they're using that as a pretext to, I don't know, possibly slowly start changing their opinions or something.
A couple of years ago, they removed anything anti-Jewish. Now they're going as far as not giving up Jerusalem.
Yeah, so this program is called Vision 2030 by Saudi Arabia. They actually also replaced the phrase Zionist enemy with Israeli occupation.
Somebody's saying, isn't that in the Quran? No, it's not in the Quran. In fact, Jerusalem was never mentioned in the Quran. And the place that they think refers to Jerusalem cannot be actually Jerusalem, because the place in the Quran that they think refers to Jerusalem makes it seem as if a mosque is already built there. And during Muhammad's time, there was no mosque in Jerusalem. So no.
I'm going to take a look at the news. Yeah, no. Nothing. Looks like those ballistic missiles launched earlier are probably just a test, or if they did hit something, we haven't heard of them so far. All right. So let's get into our super chats here. And Lior, I'm saying, do you guys color coordinate? 9 out of 10 times you're matching outfits. No, we don't.
We do. Oh, we're not telling them. Okay,
we do.
I'm sorry.
No, we're not
I'm
telling
sorry,
them.
Ali, I thought. Okay, sorry. I let it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys notice that? Interesting. And thank you, Leo. And our next one is from Bill Kennedy saying, do you prefer blockade only plan? Thoughts? No, because the blockade on its own will never topple the Islamic Republic.
I think that blockade only for a time might be the strategic. Blockade only forever? No. But blockade only right now might be the most strategic thing to do. Right now. To prepare the situation for eventually doing other things.
What we're about to find out, though, Bill, is this week, Scott Bessent is apparently going to conduct the most amount of economic isolation ever done to a country. It's going to start this week. If that's the case, we continue the blockade, we squeeze them economically for the remainder of August, maybe even up till mid-September. Temperatures come down. The Islamic Republic is pretty much completely bankrupt. The momentum for the internal uprising is going to increase. Things are going to be looking a lot better if we continue that route. Now, I just hope Mossad and the CIA have been arming the Iranian people, conducting some more, supportive operations there. We won't know about it. It's going to be top secret. So yeah, blockade only in addition to other things. Blockade only, period? No. That's a great question, and thank you very much. I love questions like that.
Yeah.
And our next one is from Mir Schreiber saying, please support Gila Gamliel on Likud primary tomorrow. For the Israelis. I don't know who that is.
We Iranians,
but I know Mir.
So many Iranians love Gila Gamliel. Ali, Gila Gamliel is the only high ranking politician in Israel that directly supports Prince Reza Pahlavi. Directly. Without any hints. Just yes. So
all right.
Yes. So Gila Gamliel, I think she's the Minister of Science and Technology in the Prime Minister.
That makes sense.
Cabinet. Yeah, right. Am I, guys, Israelis? Am I correct? Is that what she's the minister of? She's very, very aggressively anti-Islamic Republic and very aggressively pro-Pahlavi. Like she doesn't just support. She's not like yeah, I support Pahlavi. She goes all out for Pahlavi, all out. And she has met with him and his team a couple of times. Yes, I got it right. People are saying I got it right.
That's great. Thank you, Mir, for reminding us. Great. Thanks. So please vote for Gila Gamliel tomorrow if you're Israeli. Thank you very much.
For a while, Gila Gamliel, every time she was posting anything about Iran, she was tagging Princess of Pahlavi. And she posts pictures of Pahlavi. She makes AI videos of Pahlavi back in Iran. It's she's amazing. Yes. Nobody in Israel has supported Princess of Pahlavi as much as Gila Gamliel. Am I right?
Yeah, I just looked it up. That's awesome. Thank you, Mayor Schreiber.
Thank you.
And Katana says, can we prevent the country from fragmenting if the regime begins to falter? It's important that no power vacuum arises. Can the Javidan Guard step in? The Guard of Javidan cannot prevent the country from fragmenting. The Iranian military would be able to, which is why their role, at least in my head, their role has always been step in at the last moment, provide security. Another thing that would prevent the country from fragmenting, as in other countries invading Iran, would be the United States military being there in the first place. If you're the US military and you just successfully conducted regime change and now you have a country willing to be your staunch ally, it's probably in your best interest while your military is right there to prevent other people from effing with it.
I'm not worried that much about Iran fragmenting. Even if it happens short term, we might see some temporarily loss of control of lands close to our border, temporarily. But it would definitely be temporary. The Iranian people are so united, and we have such a strong national identity and such high sense of patriotism that, in fact, if we lose temporarily control over any of our land, that might unite us faster, because that would create such an urgency among so many Iranian people to get their act together and retake control back over that land, that might actually end up becoming a unifying factor, if that even happens. Remember, once the Islamic Republic falls, the Iranian people are going to be united in creating a government that is reflective of the people, that is patriotic, that is in line with Princess of Pahlavi and his leadership. And that means that the oil and gas money of Iran will be now spent on building a military that could defend our borders, with millions of Iranians wanting to join to defend our borders. All of the oil and gas revenue that goes for spreading terrorism and destroying Israel is now going to be all spent on building a military that defends our borders. There is no power. Like, who's going to challenge that? Like the Baluchi separatists, the Kurdish separatists, the Turkish separatists. I don't want to call them Azeri. I call the Iranians Azeri, right? The Arab separatists, with what? A few thousand people against millions of Iranians that now have the support of millions of Iranian people and Israel and United States and their unity. I mean, even if we don't have Israel and United States, we have millions against thousands, millions of Iranians against thousands who are trying to challenge our borders, very, very aggressively eager to take anything that they want to take away from us back. So I'm in fact, you know what? Be worried about it. I think like Iranian people should be worried about it, because that worry would unite them. But I'm not that worried about it. Long term, I'm not that worried about it. Power vacuum is going to happen. Power vacuum in Iraq, Syria, and Libya and Lebanon might make sense, because we don't have that much of a deep-rooted historical ancient national identity. And think about this, Ali. Iraq has three identities: not an Iraqi identity, a Kurdish identity, a Shia identity, and Sunni identity. And even Iraq did not get fragmented. Even Iraq did not get fragmented. Iraq, which is an artificial country, no offense to Iraqis, that was created by Europeans with arbitrarily drawn borders on the map, with identities that are not national identities, but ethnic and religious identities, managed to stay together. And you think Iran, with such unity, with such an strong ancient identity, with such desire for unity, that is going to get fragmented?
Good question, Katana.
By the way, good question. Good question.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you. If we're going to the next one, two quick things. One, most importantly, tomorrow is the day that the 60-day negotiation period is officially expired, even though it expired 2 days ago. Tomorrow is the official day that the United States government is recognizing the end of the 60-day period. Scott Besson also told us he's rolling out a new weapon this week as well. The U.S. carrier, George Washington, also arrives this week. Got some big events coming up. So with that, Please subscribe to our channels. We cover everything for you guys. If you saw the level of detail today, we've seen a lot of things coming over the past few months. Largely got most things right. I like to say that as an analyst, if you get at least 60% of your predictions right, you're doing a good job. And let's continue. Corey, thank you for the GOAT trophy. The favorite one.
Yeah, the GOAT trophy. Woo! Thank you.
And Fun Sun, thank you for the 10 jewels as well. Appreciate that. And Mir Schreiber is saying, Gamliel is a big friend of the Iranian people and Shah. There we go.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Yes, go support her.
Yes, thank you, Mir Schreiber. And Blue Jay says, how do you guys think it will go if the IDF strikes Iran alone while the U.S. hangs back? Sure. So,
well,
the IDF strikes the IRGC. The IRGC strike back. The U.S. will defend Israel, and then Israel will get stuck in a unpredictable loop with the IRGC of escalation. If they back out politically, it looks pretty bad for Netanyahu. So it'll probably be a drawn-out war with the IRGC, which will weaken Israel, which is not good because Turkey's right there. And Hezbollah is waiting right now to see, what can they do with their last stand. It's just an unnecessary risk. If you want to finish off the IRGC, Israel has to do it with the help of multiple other countries.
But the way I see it is, so Israel is fully capable of destroying and killing anybody in Iran without the help of the United States. But then once they do that, if they want to go a full-on head-to-head, operations at the scale that we saw in the 40-day war, then obviously there's going to be a big response. And as able as Israel is when it comes to attacking anything in Iran, they need United States when it comes to defending of what comes after. A lot of the defense system of the Israelis needs the United States cooperation for that to work out. And United States will defend Israel. Like it would not abandon Israel. But the problem is that the cost to Israel would be that this will very much look like United States didn't want to go to war, and Israel attacked the Islamic Republic anyways, knowing that United States would defend them anyways, meaning that they drag United States into a war without them choosing this. This might turn many people in the United States who weren't thinking that Israel drags the United States into a war to believe that as well. And at the time, this, if it becomes an existential crisis for Israel, it would make sense for them to do this. But this is a very costly. They have to calculate the cost benefit because the soft power of Israel and the United States is falling. And if they do something like this without first getting the green light of the United States, because one way or another, the United States will get involved if Israel does this, right? And if they don't get the green light first, they might turn the White House against them, and they will lose some of the people that are supporting Israel right now. And I don't know if Israel thinks that they can afford right now to lose their soft power in the United States even more than it has fallen so far.
Yep. So it's not worth it, essentially, Blue Jay, for the IDF to strike Iran alone. But great question, and thank you very much. And Nail Bunny says, how bad is no petrol for cars? In the UK, I just walk or ride my bike. What's it like in Iran, or is it the same if you're in a big city as for me? On an individual level, cities in Iran are too large for you to conduct most of your things with a bike or walking alone. On an individual level, it's very, very difficult. But a lot of people don't even own cars. They'll just hire Ubers. And an Uber, it's called Snap in Iran, the Uber equivalent. A lot of people do that for work at the moment. That's where you have issues. So, and then going even further to a macro level, you want to feed your cow, you need to bring in a truck full of fertilizer, uses fuel. The cow eats, the cow gets fat, you kill the cow for meat, You process it, you send it to a processing facility, gas. From processing facility to, storage facility, gas. To the supermarket, gas. People drive to the supermarket, gas. Cost of everything goes up. Big problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I lived in Tehran, I lived in Shemrun, and most of what I needed was walking distance from where I wanted to go. Many places in Tehran are not like that. My area was like that. But for most people, this is just going to increase their cost of living, because even if you can walk, everything is going to get more expensive anyways, and the cost of business is going to be very high. Things are going to be less profitable, and even if you don't get on any car or any train for you to notice the price difference, you're going to notice the price difference in the grocery store, even if you're not if you don't get in a car. But many people do have to do long commutes to work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Thank you, Nail Bunny. And Sarah Ocean says, uprising only when Shah says it's go time? Probably the other way around. Probably it happens first, then Prince Reza Pahlavi says it's go time.
I think they happen they work with each other, right? So you see a spark, and then Prince Reza Pahlavi and his team see if this is the spark. We see a protest that is not an uprising yet, but then they see if it has potential, if it's escalating, and at some point decide like, yes, go time, and they call it they do a call to action, and then it's go time. But I mean, it seems like Prince Reza Pahlavi's current understanding is that the regime is not weak yet for an uprising to make sense. But again, this is not Prince Reza Pahlavi telling the Iranian people, or the Iranian people telling Prince Reza Pahlavi. The communication goes both ways, right? So Prince Reza Pahlavi gets data and messages from inside Iran, and he's more of a Prince Reza Pahlavi is not. He doesn't see himself as somebody who's ordering people what to do. He sees himself as amplifying the voice of the Iranian people. He's the best person to reflect what the Iranian people are saying themselves, and just dials it up. And basically, we hear ourselves through him. He's just a reflection of what we're saying. That's how he sees himself.
Yep. Great question, Sarah. And also says, is saying deaf to America allowed? Javid Shah. Like, if you're deaf, you can't hear. Deaf to America. Yeah, in the shrine. So, guys, in the shrine where Ali Khamenei is buried, the former supreme leader, killed by US and Israel, people tried to say death to America, and people were like, shut up, covering their mouths and be like, you can't say that. Stop saying that. And they're like, what do you mean? We're Durkas. What have you always been saying that? What do you mean we can't say that? Thank you, Sarah. Javid Shah. Thank you so much.
Javid Shah.
And Nail Bunny with the next super chats, who says 468 watching, 147 likes. Please like the stream. Yes, please like the stream.
Thank you to everybody who has liked the stream. We appreciate you. And thank you to Nail Bunny.
Thank you everyone who watches. Yeah. And thank you, Nail Bunny. And Nail Bunny also says, feed the YouTube algorithm, gremlins, and subscribe.
Yes.
True. Yes. And then another few super chats saying, I guess I have to bring the confetti, and here it is. Damn, is that cheating? I don't know.
Thank you.
Is that cheating to win the super chat race? I don't know. Well, there you go, Nail Bunny. A one woman army.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
guys won.
Damn.
Woo!
Dang. People are saying it's not cheating. Guys, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys started it, so we just now, given that you set the precedent for it, we're just now, ever since, we're using it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Funsun, thank you for the jewels. And more of them.
Thank you, Vincent.
And
for the
more of
admin.
them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. Fizz Endricist with the super chat saying, I survived the hurricane. Super chat. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. I'm glad you're doing good. I think you said that usually hurricanes don't make windfall in the part that you're at, but this one is pretty severe. I hope that means it's completely over. I think the west coast of the U.S. is actually also. Yeah, the west coast is actually about to get hit by what do you call it? El Nino this year. Thank you, Physindricist. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Wait, Lior is saying so nice to see Ali's laugh. Don't fall for it, Lior. He's just pretending that to be human. Yeah, okay. All right, who's next?
I don't know. I feel like you saying that on in my chat is probably a better, No, I'm kidding. Anyway, see, people are backing at it again with the Ali is still AI, says Leo. People were saying that earlier. Guys,
they're evolving. AI is getting good at human emotions.
Ali Bot is running the laugh script. Cool. I'm not. Guys, I spent a lot of time last night with other humans. My age, actually. So, last night. Just saying. I'm learning more.
They're very convincing.
And Fizz also says, no power, no internet, but done. Okay. So the hurricane's gone, but apparently destroyed everything you need to live. Gotcha.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Thank you for the update. Hope everything's okay. And thank you, this guy, for the jewels.
This guy. That guy. Thank you.
And Shauna, thank you for the generous super chat, who says, are they paying women double or paying double for an American woman? I would warn them that our women are better fighters than their men. I mean that in the most insulting way possible, just to be clear. Yeah, they meant they would pay Iranian women double for capturing an American.
Yes. They're trying to virtue signal. If they said what you said, it would be the opposite of virtue signaling. It would be the confirmation of, them being, barbarians, as they all are. But they're trying to show like that, look at us. We're feminists. We're feminist jihadis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very progressive. You get guys, you get double the reward for killing an American if you're a woman. We're very progressive.
Says the IRGC.
Yeah. Artesh. That's Artesh.
Yeah. Or yeah. Says the Islamic Republic military.
No difference.
But yeah. So yeah, American women in the military have a better track record than the IRGC men in the Islamic Republic. Definitely. Thank you, Shauna, for the super chat. Thank you, Rudy Lama, for the jewels. And thank you, Heather June, for the jewels as well.
Thank you.
Our next one is from Goofy for Jesus. Says, Moshi Moshi from Texas. Love the show. Hugs. I think that means hello in Japanese. Like when you answer the phone.
Moshi, moshi. Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually took a couple of Japanese classes in college.
Oh, you did?
Thank you. Yeah. Well, we love that you love the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you into anime? Is that why you took Japanese classes?
I actually got into anime for a couple years after I took those classes. Yeah. I took the classes, then started watching anime. And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Like Attack on Titan or Naruto. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like this. And then I stopped watching.
I watched Death Note and I was like, wow, this is actually so good. I must like anime. But then I started watching the second one. I'm like, no, it was just Death Note. It was just Death Note. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
And then I like tried with everything else. I'm like, nope, just Death Note, nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. When you say you like something, it doesn't mean that you like everything in that genre. It's just the good parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for the super chat from Texas. And Lior says, Ali and Armin should wear Hawaiian shirts.
Yes. No.
Should I also get like the white, get the white New Balance shoes, like the dad shoes? I get like a little fanny pack that I tie around.
I think she thinks it's too dark here because we're both wearing black. Because she then said brighten the place up a bit.
I see. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're too dark. People are saying, they're saying brighten up the place a bit, but then yesterday everyone's clowning on me saying that you're too pale. You're too white.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so you're saying you're brightening up the place with your skin? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Apparently not enough.
Oh, wow,
guys. Thank you, Leo. For the humor.
Spirited Away. Oh my God! No, wait! Before you read that, yes, Spirited Away is. I love Spirited Away, but I don't think that's anime. That's anime inspired. That's American, yeah, but I don't think it's anime. But yes, Spirited Away is amazing. Okay, go back.
And our next one is from Nail Bunny as well. It says, you're both wearing black. Next, you'll be crying and hitting yourselves. Oof. No, you know what? Persians are... Listen. The color for Iranians is black. Okay? We all wear black. That's our color.
Oh, wow. He's doing
absolutely.
It. I thought he would be allergic.
All right. Let's stop. And Heather June, thank you for the jewels. Our next super chat is from Wes Downer, saying klepto is Greek for steal, I think. Ooh. Did you take Latin? Actually, Latin is different than ancient Greek. Close enough. Thank you, Wes Downer. Yeah, they just hoard all their money. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. And our next one is from Tin Lei, saying, what would morale damage be if Trump won the midterms?
You mean the Republicans? It would, for the Islamic Republic, it would be devastating because they're basically most of their strategy was like, let's make it difficult for Trump in the midterms. And they have invested, like everything was resting on that. So if it doesn't work, that means like that would be embarrassing. It would be devastating.
Yeah. They have some pretty bad planning for the future. And if Trump wins the midterms, which I don't think winning or losing is going to make a bunch of a difference to the IRGC in the end. But hey, let's have them realize that for themselves. Again, they got a couple idiots in power right now. Mentally insane people. And thank you. It also wouldn't stop them, by the way. Like, they're not going to ever give up. They'll just keep on going. But yeah, they'll be pretty demoralized.
If you need to keep moisturizing your lips, that means that you're not drinking enough water. If you drink a lot more water, you wouldn't need to do that. Maybe.
I feel like I do drink enough water. I drink like water every, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes, but throughout the entire day, my lips are always just dry.
Drink more. Look, from the beginning, this is what I finished from the beginning, in the past 2 hours. This is what I finished in 2 hours.
Well, I'm almost
done. Look at you, look at me. I'm serious, guys. This is what I've already finished in 1 hour and 54 minutes. And I have this to go.
How many let me close this again. How many ounces or liters is that?
This is 20
Like, do you think
ounces.
20? That?
Yes.
You sure?
Let me check. I don't know. I don't know your non-metric system, but I could.
Because this entire thing is 40.
This is a big glass.
Yeah.
Look
I
at.
guess you're right.
Yeah. This is 20 ounces. Yeah, this is 20.
Okay. Yeah, I would say 2.5 of those is this.
Joanna said you're gonna pee yourself, Armin.
Yeah.
And this is why I keep taking breaks.
And our next super chat is from
These are
West
wait.
Downer.
Jewish Samantha saying is Armin alcoholic. This is tea. This is all tea. Different kinds of tea. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's tea. And then our next one is from West Downer saying almost confetti, and then sent another super chat for confetti. Thank you very much. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on board recently, by the way. And thank you so much again.
Yeah, great addition to our team.
True. And Jewish Samantha, thank you for the jewels. And
yes, that's
Fun
it.
Sun.
Make both of them. Makeup brush for the Hossein with the whole lashes up. Both of them.
Thank you for the jewels. Our next one is from Kayvon Shaw. Says, which one of the Durkas teabagged Imam Hussein's shrine? Did that happen?
I don't wait. I think I don't know. I don't know what this is referring to. I guess I couldn't understand that. I don't know. I'm almost. I don't know what you're.
Can you give us the
Is
answer?
I don't know what this is referring to. Okay, so Imam Hussein's shrine is in Karbala. The video I showed, I don't know what shrine that was in. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to answer this. Ali, you answer it. I don't know, guys. How do I answer this? I don't know.
I have no idea. Kayvon, you're gonna have to let us know.
This is the first Shia-related question that I can't. I don't know how to answer. I usually have an answer. Oh my god, I don't know. What? That came out of nowhere.
Oh, that's funny. Look, someone in the chat, Magnum Opus, was saying Armin is teabagging, and then the next super chat was Kayvon Shaw saying, which one of the Durkas teabagged Imam Hussein's shrine?
I don't know.
You know, by going by that order, they're talking about you.
Oh my god. Oh, Ellie wants to know what teabagging means. Can you explain to her, Ellie, please?
Sitting up and down repeatedly on somebody as an act of disrespect.
So think about the tea bag and dipping it in water, and think about what the equivalent of that be on someone's face if you do that.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Kayvon Shaw. Let us know, by the way, if you're still here. And our next one is from James Moore saying the IRGC need double donkey hotels. There is a coded message. Oh, man.
Double donkey. I don't know.
I think you guys are more well-versed in the Durka than we are. Oh, someone gets
double
it.
Donkey? I don't get it.
I don't get it. James, tell us. Tell us in the chat.
So cryptic.
Thank you for the super chat. We'll look for that. And Bill Kennedy says, is there a solution to the Palestine problem? Yeah. Oh, it's super simple. I mean, to me, just get rid of Hamas. Just have them disarm, arrest them all, take them out of Gaza.
That's not the solution. That's not the solution. Getting rid of Hamas would not end it. Something else would pop up. Getting rid of the Islamic Republic.
The funding?
No, get everything else, all in the Middle East. When you look at it as a problem, if you eliminate the problem, it will grow back, because the source is all coming from inside Iraq. So this is an octopus with tentacles that keeps growing back, like Hydra's heads. So the solution to most of the problems in the Middle East is getting rid of the Islamic Republic. You have to destroy this from the source instead of just keep cutting the tentacles.
Good idea. Thank you, Bill Kennedy.
Think about this,
Great
guys.
question.
The solution to Hamas, the solution to Hezbollah, the solution to the Houthis, the solution to Hashd al-Shabi in Iraq, the solution to Fatimiyun, the solution to Zainabiyun, the solution to the Strait of Hormuz, the solution to the enrichment of uranium, the solution to all the threats in the Middle East, the instability, the solution to the lack of investment and prosperity in the Middle East, all of it has one solution. Remove the Islamic Republic, bring Shah back to Iran.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the second part of your answer. Not just the Palestine problem, but all the other problems are being get rid of because we, the Iranians, will go after these terrorist groups. It is to our benefit to destroy them, and we want revenge.
Neil Bunny with the great point. All of this global terrorism started after 1970. Yeah, the Islamic version of it.
Yeah.
The Pan-Arabist version of it. There were Pan-Arabist versions of it before, but the Islamic versions.
Exactly. And notice how when these Persian Gulf Arab countries, namely Qatar, got a lot of money, Saudi Arabia got a lot of money. Notice what happened as well. So thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Our next one is from RG Rappaport saying, any updates on the oil slicks in the Strait? The updates are the same. The natural wildlife in the area is dying at an alarming rate. On land, close to the ocean, the plants, if you take a napkin and you were to wipe a leaf with a napkin, your napkin will be black because there's oil. So it's going on the trees, it's going on the plants. Animals eat those. Everyone's having a problem. Every biological organism in the area is having problems. Thank you for the question. And Alexia is saying, is fertilizer a problem already in Iran? We have major issues even importing fertilizer to grow crops. I highlighted this because this is something that you guys need to know. In Iran, the farmers, just like most other, farming techniques around the world, will harvest their crop, sell it, and in the case of Iran, they will sell it to the government. The government will give them money so that these farmers can go not only fund their lives, but also buy seeds, equipment, and etc. to produce the next year's harvest. Bad news. The farmers who turned in this year's harvest to the government of the Islamic Republic are not paid. They don't have the money to make more food. If this continues, this situation continues, another 6, 8, 9 months, you're not going to be running into a problem of food inflation in Iran. You're going to be running into a problem of food shortage in Iran. Thank you for that question. And Flying Robot Duck saying, how many high-level targets are left in Iran? Oof. I mean, a lot, but...
About 130.
Yeah. But if we just had to choose 5, I would say, you took out the 5 correct people, maybe 10, you could get the job done.
So 130, if you count the people on this list, around 130. Including the 30 over here. That's important. But if you count the members of the parliament as well, then maybe 400. If you count the Friday prayer imams, then 1,300. But I would say basically everybody on this list.
Yeah.
But you could probably get the job done with 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gave our 6 the other day. Yeah.
And you could leave the rest of the Iranian people.
Yeah. Thank you.
But if you want to go all out, then there's your list.
There we go. Kayvon Shaw, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships for Liberty Politics.
Thank you.
Huge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And
generous.
Very generous of you. And our next one is from Sarah Ocean saying, Ali is not a piece of meat. I'm a toxic female. I don't know where that came from. I'm indeed not a piece of meat, but I don't think you're a toxic female.
Technically, you're meat, bone, cartilage, some skin, hair, and blood cells, but partly meat, right? The muscles are meat.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Also, he's not meat because he's all wires and metal anyways, probably.
True, true.
Right. Silicon. That's a silicon.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Funny. That's funny, super chat. And T Sapbar Pad said, greetings from Hungary. Love you guys. Joby Cha. Ooh.
Joby Cha.
Thank you. Thank you for watching from Hungary. Must
Joby
be
Cha.
pretty late into the night.
That's very sweet
Joby
that we're
Cha.
getting. You know, I never
Awesome.
in a million years would I think this many people who are not Iranian from all around the world will come and say Joby Cha. You guys,
Yeah.
You have no idea how much this means. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have Lior saying, Hungary is a great country. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Thank you for the super chat. Our next one is from Amir the Cricket, who says, anime movie, Your Name, 2016.
I heard about that. Never watched it, though.
And then Amir also said, with a very generous super chat, saying, for a mug/cup heater purposes. Huge.
Oh,
very
thank
generous.
you. Thank you, Amir. That's very sweet. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Amir.
No.
Been there from day one. We love you. Thank you so much.
We love you.
And our next one is from Kayvon Shaw, saying, I thought the Durkas kissing the wall was at Hussein's shrine. Maybe not. Anyways, didn't it look like someone teabagged the shrine and 4 to 5 Durkas kissed the same spot?
Oh.
I see.
Ew. Okay.
I see.
Now I see. Okay, you have a wild imagination. I don't know how you would teabag a wall because it's like vertical. But I'm imagining it and it doesn't look pretty.
You're just not thinking creatively enough,
I'm not being very creative. This is our problem, Kevin. We're not as creative as you. How do you teabag your wall?
Thank you, Kayvon.
But okay.
I don't know. Let us know. No, I'm kidding. Don't let us know. And
oh, Jess has the
one...
answer. Wait, Jess has the answer here.
Momentum. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for making us laugh. And Jewish Samantha said, you guys inspired me to drink a glass of water every morning before starting my energy drinks. Damn.
Okay. Damn.
I'm glad.
That's an improvement.
Yeah. It's a big improvement. Let's You know,
One.
let's make it one energy drink.
Yes.
Maybe just sip on it throughout the day.
Samantha has a problem. She has an addiction problem. She's
Jeez.
gonna. She just. We have to do it, guys. We have to plan an intervention for Samantha one day with her energy drinks.
Yep. And our next one is from S. Marie's Updates, saying, do the quote-unquote richer areas in Iran still have gas, like Shiraz? There is no one city that's like the major cities. It's not like one of them is more rich than the other one. There's neighborhoods within the cities that are richer. And as we showed you guys earlier, sorry, real quick, as we showed you guys earlier, even the richer neighborhoods of Tehran, the capital, are running out of gas completely.
If you have money, you're gonna get gas. Yeah,
true. You'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's not about richer areas. It's about richer people, and richer people always find a way to secure things for themselves. Always find. Yeah. So yeah, like it's not about the city. Like in Shiraz, there are going to be people who are not going to have gas, and there are people who are well off, and they're going to know. They just know who to pay, what to do. Somebody will arrange it for them.
Yeah.
A good question.
But you'll see more and more scenarios where a wife of a really rich person in Iran will get out of her, BMW off the street of Tehran, go into the supermarket and try to buy the most expensive pack of cigarettes and see, oh my God, it's too expensive. Even for me, the wife of like a rich businessman, I'll buy the cheaper version of cigarettes. So it's reaching even that level of demographic. It's affecting them. They'll still be able to get what they need. Everyone else suffers way harder, naturally. And then they also sent us another super chat. Says, my aunt is buying a new car. Doesn't sound like she's worried about getting gas there.
Depends. Depends on what she's buying it for. Like, I don't know if maybe your aunt is more well off than other people, so she has it figured out there. It could also depending on your aunt. It could also be for people. A lot of people in Iran buy cars because it's unlike other countries, it's an investment. So in other countries, when you buy a car, as soon as you buy it, it gets reduced in price, right? But because in Iran everything is falling in price, buying a car is actually something that holds value relative to everything else, right? So if you can't buy a house, if you can't, then people sometimes buy cars just as a way for them to have something that is not going to. Because if you don't buy a car today, then in 1 year from now, or maybe in a few months from now, it might become impossible to buy a car, right? Or much more expensive to buy a car. So many people in Iran are always in a rush to buy a car, even though they can't afford it. They try to find a way to buy it because they know by next year, if it's unaffordable now, it's going to be extremely more unaffordable next year. So they have to buy it. Does that answer the question? I don't know if it did.
Yeah. The car appreciates in value in Iran. Every other country depreciates.
Well, it doesn't appreciate. It just appreciates relative to everything else, right?
Yeah.
relative to everything else.
It's a currency. Yes. Yeah. Cars are a currency. Phones are a currency. Yeah.
Right. People actually buy phones to store value. Phones have turned into storage of value. That's how crazy things have gotten.
Yeah. So it depends on why she's buying it.
Yeah.
But if you know your aunt is really well off, then yeah, I mean, she's just more well off. Still probably using it as an investment, but people like her won't be hurting at the gas line as much as others, which is good. I'm glad that your aunt's doing well. And thank you for that comment. Thank you for the super chat. Our next one is from Omid saying, poor people in Iran. I just wonder how they're living. They're not living, they're surviving. Yeah.
So Ali, this is very interesting because some people are saying that as things are getting worse, Iranian people are spending more money on having fun, right? And the regime supporters are saying, look at these people spending more. There's more people spending time on having fun. So why are you guys talking? Like, why are these people outside? Why are they going on trips? Why are they out in the cafe, going out and spending money on these things if the economy is bad? But the answer is they're doing that because the situation is worse, right? Because they have given up on investing in the long term, and they think that everything is going to go to crap anyways, and I have no future, and I might as well just live it now. And because they're also trying to find ways to distract themselves from how bad they think their future is. So as things get worse, spending on short-term pleasures is increasing in Iran because many people are thinking, like, F it, I'm not going to be able to live in the future. I might as well live it as far as I could today.
And that's historically accurate throughout history. It's been that case. People spend more time and money on entertainment when things get bad.
Yeah. I'm good. One more super chat.
Okay. Nothing new on the news here. And S. Marie's updates with another super chat, thank you, says yes, but not sure she's thinking about that, as in the investment part of the car. She's getting the money from us to buy it, to go see her friends.
Oh.
But she has taken neighbors' groceries, like taken them to the grocery store or bought them groceries. But yeah. Anyway,
we're good
honestly,
on
I'm
you
glad
and
your
helping
aunt's
her
doing
out.
well.
Getting
And
her.
that's an example right there. To go see her friends, more time and money on entertainment. Distract yourself from the harsh realities of the world.
Interesting. Hope she's doing okay.
Yeah. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hope you're doing okay too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow and this week in particular. Oh, and we have Esmeralda's saying she's buying groceries for the neighborhood.
Ooh.
Let me say something about that real quick. Iranians abroad get asked all the time to provide kindnesses like your aunt does for other Iranians or in Iran. And my family, a ton of other families throughout the decades, we donate amounts monthly, and that goes to like a school in an impoverished area in Iran to buy children books and pencils and things like that so they can go to school. That's great that your aunt does that. But to Iranians in the diaspora, sorry, it just reminds me of something. A lot of them, particularly, maybe like rich kids my age or something, have no problem going to the club and dropping $2,000 on a table and a couple bottles. No problem. But when it comes to the Iranian Revolution, if they want to donate $100 to Prince Reza Pahlavi's movement, I'm going to grumble about it, drag their feet. So thank you so much for your aunt's efforts there and everyone who does things like that. And our next one is from Amy saying, have you shown a pic of the... Nope, I haven't shown a pic of that. But thank you, Amy.
I will show it now.
Armin's about to.
Yes, because Amy asked. Okay, so guys, this is in... Wait, bring it back. So Amy's saying, have you shown a pic of the giant, that thing that she says they kiss? She's referring to Muslims going to the Kaaba in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And this is the thing, guys, this is the best way to spread disease. I kid you not. Like,
Oh,
if
God.
once you kiss that thing, you are going to get sick. That's almost guaranteed. But they're trying to kiss it. They're trying to kiss the black stone. It's hard to get to it because everybody wants to kiss it. You can't even see it. So it's really okay. I can't even see it. Let me actually show a picture. Maybe you can see what we're talking about. This is the stone that they're kissing. Like, they're kissing it one after each other. Guys, they were doing this during COVID as well, right? So like, think about that. But like, think about the number of people who put their lips on this thing in one day, and you're putting your lips on it after thousands of other people putting their lips on it. The black stone, right? And well, let me also, the reason why Amy is calling it what she's calling it is because it looks like this. It does actually look like what Amy said. So guys, it's so disgusting. Like, I know certain people told me that right after their father made them kiss them, within hours they got sick. Like, they could feel that they're getting sick within hours after that. Like, the amount of disease. I mean, it's natural. Like, think about it. Like, thousands of people kiss it, and now you're putting your lips on it. And look how desperate they are to kiss it. Look what shit here.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, go on.
Even if they disinfect that every day, I don't think it'll make a difference. And I don't think they do it every day.
They don't, like, yeah, like, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. There was just like 100 other people right before you that kissed it. So how is that going to help?
Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think so.
I think. Somebody saying it's black too. Guys, I think it didn't used to be black, but correct me on that. But yeah, it got black.
Someone said it's like, wait, where is it? Someone said it's like, Daydream said it's like licking public toilets.
It's worse.
Can almost guarantee you that if you lick the average toilet, it will be cleaner.
We're not exaggerating, guys. Like, this might sound gross, but kissing something that has touched other people's lips is more likely to spread disease than kissing somebody something that has touched people's butt cheeks. And that's not an exaggeration. So, guys, make sure you tune in this week in particular. It's going to be an important week, and we're going to break that down for you guys. And if we're speeding up the fall of the Islamic Republic, or if we're maintaining the status quo, new carriers arriving, new economic sanctions are arriving like never before. The 60-day negotiating period is now over. Let's see what happens. So, with that. Oh, wait. No, before with that, guys, Ali has a group call today, right, Ali? Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. In an hour. So you guys could, in an hour, so you guys could go and talk to Ali. Guys, the group calls are for free, and you could join and go talk to Ali. Ali's going to be sitting there, and you could go talk to him. I'll put the link in the chat. The link is in the QR code in the top left corner of the screen. The link is in the description. The link is also now in the chat. Ali will be there, and you could, we have daily group calls, and this is Ali's group call. So go into our discussion group. Ali will be there, and you could talk to him and the other people who are going to be sitting there. So make sure it's not recorded and it's not streamed. Yeah. If you guys want to give me your opinion on things, ask me what your opinion, or ask me questions about anything, please show up. It'll be in an hour from now. So yeah. Yes. Go there. Ali will be there. And usually that's a less busy time slot. So you're going to get more time to talk to Ali when you go there. And it's open to everybody who wants to join. All right. So with that, we'll see you guys same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian,
Slava Ukrainian,
Cuba Libre,
Cuba Libre,
Taiwan Jiayo,
Taiwan Jiayo,
Long Live America,
Long Live America, Javid Shah,
Payende,
Payende, Iran.
See you guys.